Hello, my friends. It's Tracy. Hey, I know it's been a while since I've made a video. I got 2 strikes. The last 2 videos I downloaded for medical misinformation. And it kind of made me leery to post another one, to be honest with you. Excuse me, I should probably have a little more fighting instinct than that. It sure is hard to shut me up in real life. That's for sure. But yeah, I've been thinking about a video. I've been noticing there's been a lot of talk about coming power outages. The Secretary of Energy came on and she was talking about that, and I really believe, and I have believed for the last few years, that that's really going to be part of the agenda. DHS had came out a couple of years ago and talked about how vulnerable our power grid is, and when the Secretary of Energy got on national news and was talking about how vulnerable our power grid is to our enemies, I was sitting there thinking, if our power grid is vulnerable, why in the world would you get on national news and tell everybody, the whole world, that? And it's because they're not scared of our enemies. It's going to be an inside job. And it happens in a lot of communist countries. We've talked about this before. So I've been focusing on, what to do in those type of situations. So, several months back, I got a barrel stove converter kit. And I started looking at barrels like Uline and different places online, and oh my gosh, by the time you pay $80 shipping and the barrel's a couple $100, I mean, you just can't find any that's not just way out of my ballpark, what I could spend on that. So I just lucked out the other day, and I found, last weekend, I found a barrel for $15. Excuse me, I've got a scratch in my throat. I found a barrel for $15 in a 55-gallon drum, and so I'll be able to put that together and make a barrel stove. I do have a fireplace. It's got a gas, fake log set in it, that I could pull that out and use that, but I've found they're not really that efficient, and these barrel heaters, I've been looking at a lot of different videos about them, and one man was holding a temperature checker up to it, and it was 800 degrees, but those suckers put off some heat. They're illegal in a lot of states. You have to have, a good surround. A lot of people just use a metal sheeting, they bend it at the floor, it goes up the wall, and, so it's not that big of a deal. And so this converter kit even comes with the, I don't know what you call that, the flap that you can open or close depending on how high you want your fire, and it fits your vent pipe in it. So it's really nice. It's a wrought iron door, wrought iron legs. I've heard you can get them at Ace for $35. I paid $50 for mine. I think I got mine on Wayfair, and this has been quite a while. But I lucked out, saw that barrel, and I went and got that, drug it home, and he had a 30-gallon barrel too, which is a little large for a rocket stove, but I still think I'm going to turn it into a rocket stove, because I found a wrought iron grate a while back for $5. So anyway, the reason why I'm talking about this is, sometimes it's just a matter of, having patience and looking on Facebook Marketplace, looking on Craigslist or whatever, discount things. Now, I've got a lady I'm getting ready to get. She's got several 55-gallon water barrels. They're black, and they had vinegar in them. And I thought, that's worth cleaning them out for $25 a piece, which is a whole lot cheaper than, you can get them any other way. Now, for a water barrel, you need, it's a 55-gallon drum, would do about a month, very slimly, a person for about a month. So, if you've got 4 in your family, you want to at least have yourself a month's worth. And you also want to a rain catchment system. So, running off your gutters or some way to catch water if possible, if you have a backyard or rain gutters and things like that, because we can't live that long without water. So water is really the most important thing, and I'm a little late in the game actually getting focused on water. I have gallon jugs, but those take up a lot of space for what they are. And so, we're coming to a time that we need to really kind of be resourceful. We need to get out, there's people that if you come cut the wood, they'll give you firewood. You can sometimes just driving along the road, you can find a tree that's fallen and things like that. But we really need to gather things. I don't know if you feel that way, my friends, but do you feel like an urgency that you need to get things gathered? And we can, because once the grid goes down, it's all intertwined. So within a couple of days, your gas would go out, and then your water I'm not sure when your water would go out, but it would go out too, because it's all done with energy. So I've believed in my gut, and just from reading, probably 30, 40 articles of different government agencies talking about the grid going down, I've believed it's going to go down for a long time. So, it's just kind of a matter of getting off our butts and getting out and, looking, trying to find things that we need, good shovels, firewood, a couple, at least, one water barrel for each person, a way for heat, a way to cook, so that 30-gallon barrel I got, I'm going to put that cast iron stove, it's a stove, cast iron stove top thing. I'm going to put it on the top, cut a hole on the top, put it on the top, and then you cut a square on the side where you can feed the wood in. And it's a lot more efficient because you can actually do it with smaller branches and twigs rather than building a huge bonfire in your yard just to cook. You'd run out of wood pretty quickly that way. And I want to start getting better. A lot of times I burn up my branches that fall in my yard. There's a lot of things that I do that I would like to change. Do you think about that? There's things I want to start saving more of. We tend to throw away water bottles at our house. And I thought about it the other day and thought, that's so stupid. Why not stick, 20 liters of water somewhere in the bottom of a closet or something? Why not reuse this stuff? But I think we're coming to a time that we're going to need to learn to kind of start doing that. And, a lot of prepping is just, you can do it on almost any budget. It's just a matter of making yourself do it. And I really feel an urgency now to do that. I really feel like something big's right around the corner. Do you feel that way, my friends? So I would like to encourage you, to look for things that you can find very cheap. Some good things, some pointers, like Lowe's, you can buy pretty cheap buckets. In a pinch, that would work for rain catchment. That would work for going and gathering water. Even buckets, I think I want to say maybe $4 or $5. I don't think they're that much, and stack, and they're stackable. Just stack 4 or 5 buckets. That would sure be helpful. Because if shit hits the fan, pardon my language, but everybody's going to be clamoring, and stuff's going to be carried out of these stores faster than you can blink, and you're sure not going to want to be out and be in all that mess. I see it coming. It's everything that they do is predictive programming. Just like 9/11, we saw that. I saw a book, I think it was from the 1960s, that had it on the cover. The Twin Towers looking just like they looked when they went down. It was on The Simpsons. It was on several movies, etc., etc. So, it's predictive programming. It's part of their religion to let you know what they're going to do before they do it. It's just that a lot of people don't pay attention. They let us know in the movies. They let us know in so many ways. Shoot, even on our money, they let us know. And that was long before the Twin Towers came down. That it was on several different bills, and you put them together and it shows the stages of the Twin Towers coming down. I don't know if you've seen that video on that. It's pretty interesting. But it's because these people speak to wicked spirits, fallen angels, demons. They're filled with demonic spirits, like believers are filled with the Holy Spirit. And they do a lot of practices like meditation, chakra, and different things that open the third eye, and things that are not what we're supposed to do. So I'm trying to avoid the subject of the V for a little while, because I sure can't talk about that. But my biggest advice to you right now is go buy dollar bags of beans. Stick them in Mylar bags. Go, even if it's cheap, when you go to the grocery store, buy some extra beans, buy a couple things of beans, buy some lentils, buy some Gatorade, some powdered Gatorade. Just add a little bit at a time as you can, my friends, because, I really see a shit hitting the fan pretty soon. The economy's going to tank. I've noticed, gold and silver is going up in price a good bit, and copper. I wish I would have followed my instincts and bought a lot of copper back when it was first, like it was $2 a round. I bought a little bit, but I didn't buy a lot. I wish I would have really invested in that. And so I recently started again buying a little bit of copper. You can buy 1 pound blocks for, I think like 35. And I mean, they're big old suckers, but it's gone up 20% in the last couple of months. And there's 4 states now that are wanting to take gold and silver as currency. Red states, that are wanting to take gold and silver as currency for groceries. And so, they're foreseeing everything kind of blowing up. But I foresee, I think it'll be an EMP attack. And, of course, they love to blame, China or Russia or one of those. But I think it'll be an inside job in the same way we've seen it happen to Venezuela. They turn it off and on and, starve people out. And they're sick, twisted people, And when you understand the sustainable goals, and you understand the Agenda 21, and, that's written on the Georgia Guidestones, and you understand what their goal is, it just makes everything make sense. It makes this V make sense. It makes everything make sense, because it's all about population reduction. They call it control, but it's actually reduction. I don't want to use the word control. But anyway, that's just my opinion. If you believe in it, that's fine. More power to you. I'm not judging you, but I definitely don't believe in it. I think it's leading to the mark of the beast, where we'll have to have that and our financial information, medical information, all of that on a chip. They're working on that now. So, things are just right around the corner, my friends. And, whether we get stocked up and, if we get raptured before we have a chance to use it, then, I just pray that, that God will oversee whatever I have put back, for somebody who's meant for his kingdom. Anyway, my friends, so that's about it. Just, get prepared. It's just a matter of going and gathering. Gather. If you can't afford, look for what you can free. Build garden beds. You can use pallets, to build garden beds. You can use rocks you find out in the woods. There's a lot of things we can be doing instead of sitting around watching TV. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but that's what a lot of people's doing. And anyway, so it was nice to talk to you. I'll try to do some more videos. Love you, friends. Talk at you real soon. Okay, bye-bye.